Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Hoodie and Headband podcast show. We're back with another preview. I'm joined by my boy, my brother.
Tariq. Damn. I thought you.
I ain't even say my name, so it's all good. I ain't even say my. I mean, they should know who we are by now, man. We 130 some episodes in, bro. Coming in with another
episodes. Damn.
Preview.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, it's a lot of content, bro. It's a lot of rants, a lot of yelling, lots of hoop talk.
Definitely a lot of yelling.
We're gonna give y'all some more. So you see by the title of this preview, man, we got a heavyweight match up between the South Carolina Gamecocks and the LSU Tigers. Two of the top teams in the SEC. Number 1 up against number 9. Yeah, can't get no better than that. Remember last year when these two teams matched up, they were 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 3
game.
They're 1 and 3.
They're 1 and 3. Okay, yeah, 1 and 3.
I think Stanford was number 2 at that point, maybe.
Yeah, and they're both undefeated going into this matchup. But yeah, different circumstances this year. Different teams. You know, on paper, some would say LSU got the better squad based on the names, but we all know that South Carolina's held it down this season with the star power that they have, the 5-star high school All-Americans that they have in that squad, and been able to be dominant for this first part of the season, being 17-0 to start the year. Yeah, hell of a matchup. Thursday night, ESPN.
Damn, what's their names? What's the name? The show before College Game Day.
College Game Day, yeah.
That's what I was looking up earlier. That's what I was trying to look up. I was trying to see, since that was there, if it was sold out or not. But
okay, yeah.
But I did see tickets. The ticket prices crazy.
A little steep.
Like 2 stacks to get in.
To get in the door?
Yeah. The boys down there charging Ravens ticket prices. Because I looked at the rate, or no, they charging more than that. But I saw, like, for a row, like $300, $400 for a rate for the Ravens game, $500. I was like, damn, $500 a ticket is crazy. I said, yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan of the team that much. Shit. But yeah, I seen the ticket prices was high.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, it's basketball, man. It's going up. They talk about. You want to get in? You pay.
General admission $100-something.
Hey, man. You want to get in? You gotta pay. Steep price. Hold on.
Good Lord, row 103 is $4,000.
4,000?
Yeah, hold on.
Sheesh.
Short, I want to see the highest price.
That's a big. Damn. Twin, where have you been?
Okay, so the highest price for a ticket is $4,000. $4,170 before fees, before tax.
Nobody.
That's a ticket. That's in row. That's in section 112, row J.
Golly.
That's not even courtside. That's like lower level, but that's not even courtside.
That's what I say. Imagine courtside.
Row J.
Good luck.
I mean, if you know your alphabets, you know row J is like the middle. HIJ. Let me stop. Let's get into this game. So, what should we look forward to seeing? Like, what should be each team's game plan going into this game?
For South Carolina, it depends on the lineup they run. They still start Angel at the 5. If they still run Angel, Anissa, Flau'jae, Haley, Michaela, you go to Camilla You try to punish them down in the post. Maybe get Angel Reese in foul trouble. If they play Del Rosario, then it changes up a little bit just because she has some size, but she's a little young, so she's a little inexperienced in this kind of matchup. So I feel like even if they choose to start her or play her a little bit more this game, then they can still find ways to take advantage of that matchup as well. I think there's a bunch of cross matchups that make this game very interesting. In terms of like the way that both teams play, like LSU's trying to get in the paint. I don't want to say ISO ball, but a lot of one-on-one. Giving their players, because they're so talented, giving them some space, let them do their thing. And then South Carolina is more free flowing. Get the ball inside, kick it out, or passing the ball around the perimeter, dribbling the ball around the perimeter, stuff like that. LSU doesn't shoot many threes. South Carolina is one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. I think they might still be number one in terms of percentage. So if you go based off of that, they're the best 3-point shooting team in the country, which is crazy to say. Because last year it was just like, oh, let them shoot. This year it's like
last year they had no shooters.
This year it's like you better not leave none of them open.
Tessa Johnson, a highly defensive team. But now you got Raven Johnson showing way more confidence this year, which I'm glad, and I knew it was going to happen. Like, bro, after a game like that Final Four game, you have no choice but to do so.
They are still.
She's gonna lock in the gym, and like I said, she just had no choice but to do so, man. Like you can't get, I don't want to say embarrassed, but like on a national stage like that, got a player waving you off at the 3-point line. Man, put some respect on my jump shot, bro. Like I know she took that personal. It's like she made sure nobody would be able to do that to her again, and she's been shooting great from the three this year. And that has been something to be proud of as a Gamecock fan. Not speaking as me as a Gamecock fan, but just like as Gamecock fans in general, they're proud of that.
They are the number one 3-point shooting team in terms of percentage.
Okay.
They're also top 5 in assists per game. I'm curious to see where LSU is. Okay, so LSU is not too far behind. South Carolina is about 20 assists per game as a team. LSU is about 17. So, yeah, I think the cross matchups will be interesting in this one. Like there's always the guards. So you got your Michaela Williams, Haley Van Lith, Flaw J against Raven Johnson, Tahina Pau, and Breezy. Then you also have the guards off the bench, which is Poa and then Malaysia. And Tessa Johnson got hurt last game, so I'm not sure if she'll play in this game. But if she does, that's big for South Carolina because that's another shooter on the court.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, can LSU's perimeter keep up with South Carolina's perimeter in terms of guarding them?
Yeah, that's a question I had as well going into this matchup, man. You see the guard core that they have, and you see how South Carolina's been utilizing their whole squad this year, man. Like, you got players like Ashton Watkins and players like we mentioned Raven Johnson earlier in the show, Chloe Kitts, Malaysia Fowiley, I don't know why I'm blanking on names.
They got 7 players averaging about 9 points.
Hall, Tahina Pau. All right, they got a strong guard core, man. One of the better guard cores in the country, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of putting it like as a combo, it might be the best because if you think about Tahina Pau and Raven Johnson alone, they both can play the point guard spot at an elite level. You got 2 elite point guards on the floor, and then you can still bring one off the bench with some of the most energy in the entire country. And then you still got Breezy Hall on the outside who is adding things to her game every year.
Mm-hmm.
It really just brings a lot as a wing player and with that athleticism and that speed and everything that she has. So it's really going to come down to Haley Van Lith, honestly. Flau'jae is a pretty good defender. And she'll probably end up being on Breezy. They probably have Haley Van Lith try to chase Tahina, and then put Michaela Williams on Raven Johnson more for the size matchup because they both are similar stature. And it's hard to key in on one player for South Carolina because they have 7 players that are averaging about 9 points a game. So really anybody can come in and get anything. And that's the thing about South Carolina is everything flows so easily and everything comes together so easily that you can't key in on anybody. You can't say like, oh, we got to stop this person tonight. Besides, they probably want to key in on Cardoso, if anybody. But you gotta find a way to get consistent stops and match their energy and match their effort on the other side. And LSU has shown at times this season where they don't necessarily do that. This is a game where they cannot allow that to happen. Last year, didn't really go well for them. They lost by 24. So, and it was this one was in Columbia. So hopefully this one being in Baton Rouge, the fans, give them a little bit more energy and they take this matchup personally because if they hadn't won last season, there would have been a lot of conversations about the way that their schedule was and the way that they looked against top teams because the teams that they lost to last year were South Carolina and Tennessee.
Yep.
Obviously they ended up winning the national championship, so that conversation went to the side. But it's happening again this year because their non-conference schedule was very weak, and then they lost to an Auburn team that they should not have lost to. And then you throw in, the way South Carolina has looked, the schedule that they've played. They played Utah. They will play UConn. They played a ton of different teams that is just not on the schedule for LSU. LSU played Virginia Tech, and I think they might have played one team in the Bahamas.
They lost to Colorado first game.
Yeah, and they lost to Colorado too.
The first game.
Colorado was their first game.
Let's see.
They did play somebody in the Bahamas, but I think it might have been like Kansas State or something like that. I don't think it was Kansas State.
Virginia. They played Virginia Tech in the ACC.
So was it Virginia that I was thinking of then?
It was Virginia because it's Cayman Islands Classic.
Yeah, because Paris Clark had a good game against them. Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't play against nobody else like serious.
Yeah, and Virginia is not even
majors or
Virginia's one of the lower.
Even a D2 school.
Yeah, most of their non-conference wasn't up to par.
No, not at all. But you got like South Carolina with one of the tougher non-conference schedules out there. And I don't know why LSU did that against to themselves. Like they have a better team than they had last year, bringing in the players that they brought in, and you want to test these players against tough competition. Like you guys are the reigning champions. Everybody wants your spot. You can't keep doing this to yourself, and that's why they weren't prepared against a team like South Carolina last year and lost the way they did. I mean, they got it together and won a national championship last year, but you gotta take care of business in your conference, though.
Yeah. How badly do you think LSU needs this win? Like, do you think they'll still be do you still think they'll be confident they can win the national championship if they lose this game?
I think if they lose this game, I think they can still. I think the possibility is still there, but for their sake, they need to win this game at home after losing to Auburn, after having a weak non-con, but same narratives again after the BS that happened beginning of the season with Angel and whatever, just the drama surrounding the team. A win like this on your resume going into March says a lot. Taking out a number one team at your crib, in your conference, in conference play, whatever. A win like this does a lot and says a lot. And if you do win against South Carolina, that holds a lot of weight. That helps you out. That gives your team the confidence, the boost that you guys need. Y'all took down the number one team. You see how teams out when they take down a top 5 team. We saw how they stormed the court this weekend. taking down what? Iowa was at number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking down number 2 Iowa. Like teams, I mean, I don't think this is a storm the court situation for LSU, but it's definitely a team that they want to beat. That stadium gonna be packed. So I think they need this win for their sake, obviously. Like they need this win to shut up the critics a little bit and to get them some kind of comfort, some breathing room or whatever. But at the same time, it's like if they do beat South Carolina, they're not a team to beat in the SEC. The rest of their schedule going forward, Mississippi State want to look to beat them next. Florida, LSU. I mean, not Florida, LSU. Florida, Vanderbilt, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. They're gonna want to look to beat them up next. So, like, you get the top spot, man. You gotta, hey, you want the top spot, you gotta hold on to that top spot. And if you want the top spot, you gotta take the top spot. It's not gonna be handed to you.
Who do you think the X factors are for LSU?
Being that I think this does come down to the post play, comes down to the big matchup between Angel and Camilla. I do think a player like Anissa Morrow, I think her performance is what's going to be the difference. And I'm trying to see how I was going to phrase this. Like, she's going to have a good performance. Michaela Williams got to have a good performance too. Like, it's going to take everybody outside of Angel to have a good performance for them to win, which isn't hard for LSU to do. I mean, we see multiple times this season how multiple players have gotten 20. So yeah, but I think it would be outside of the big matchup, whoever the X factor would be. And I think, as you mentioned earlier, this is an important game for Haley Van Lith as well, in terms of like the guard play and maintaining the tempo. Like if LSU can control the game, because we see how South Carolina gets. If they get on that third quarter run, you're done. Scraps. But if LSU can control the game, they can win the game. And so that comes down to the point guard position, obviously. So if they can control the tempo, they can control how the game be in their hands, then they can win Thursday night.
Yeah, I agree. I think it comes down to both of those players. I think Michaela Williams she's been good in these kinds of games. Outside of the Auburn game, where only Angel Reese really had a good game, and Anissa Morrow didn't play badly, but the guards did not show up in that game. I think for this game, I think it is Anissa Morrow and Haley Van Lith, because Anissa Morrow is matched up with Chloe Kitts, and then she'll be matched up with Ashlyn Watkins. And she'll still have to combat with Cardoso as well. So,
yep.
This is the game. These are the teams that they brought these two players in for. They brought two players in for these kinds of games. Haley Van Lith transferred from Louisville, and Anissa Morrow transferred from DePaul for this game, for March. So all the talk, all the conversations, all the we this and we that in the summertime, now you got to stand on business. Because
as much as you hate that term, you use it.
I know, right? Because going into the season, they probably did not think that South Carolina was going to be where they were.
Yeah.
They probably thought
they were. South Carolina was rated 6. Everybody looked past South Carolina. Everybody overlooked South Carolina.
Right.
Don't sleep on Don Staley. I'm sorry. Let me not get on that bag again. Let me be fair here. Let me not show. Let me chill.
I just think they probably thought, we're gonna run through the regular season, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, we got some tough matchups, but we should be straight with the lineup that we got. And things haven't necessarily gone super free flowing for them all season. Like, they lost their first game to Colorado.
Yep.
They got a couple of games under their belt. They won some non-conference games that were relatively easy. They lost to an Auburn team that they shouldn't have lost to, and then they've won their last couple of games against better competition than Auburn, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
those two players really got to come out and play big. I think Anissa Morrow will.
I think so
Interesting to see
too.
how Haley Van Lith does. I think Haley Van Lith played against them her sophomore year. Was
So,
that the year they went to the Elite Eight? It
I
was her,
believe so.
Emily Inksler, and Russell and all them when they played
That
South
sounds
Carolina.
about right. That sounds about right.
Yeah. So she's seen this team before. She hasn't seen these specific players because Zaya Cook, Bree Bill, Destiny Henderson was on that team. So she's seeing different guards, but she's seeing the same philosophy.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see how they play. And for South Carolina, I think it comes down to Tahina and
Yep.
then Chloe Kitts.
Yep.
I think Chloe Kitts could have a really big game. She's gonna have to battle, and sometimes some people with size can give her a little bit of issues, but I think she could find ways to take advantage of this matchup. And then Tahina, I think if they put Haley Van Lith on her, I'm not saying it's a cook session, but she should feel comfortable in whatever she wants to do on the court. And if she can make a couple of threes, then the game is wide open
Yep.
in terms of what South Carolina can do on offense. So I think those two players on both sides are the X factors. But I think players like Lastia Poa and Malaysia Fulwiley, and then Ashton Watkins off the bench. I think those are some key matchups as well, because Ashton Watkins is going to be able to give them minutes off the bench that I'm not so sure that LSU will be able to get from their front court. So it'll be interesting to see, because they can even get minutes from Sanaya Fagan as well. So they can run 4 front court players. LSU could probably run 3, and confidently run 3, because Kim Mulkey in big games, she don't really run a lot of players. She'll run maybe 7. So it'll be interesting to see how she runs her minutes and what the lineups look like throughout this game.
Yeah. All right, prediction time. Who do you think wins? And if you got a point prediction, by how much?
I think South Carolina wins by more than 10.
Really?
I don't think they win by 20, but I think they win by like 14 to 15.
I said South Carolina by less than 10. I feel like
I'm
it'll be
not
a close of a matchup. That should be South Carolina's what? I think this be the, if I'm looking at the schedule, looking at their non-con, they have some tough games with non-con. They saw North Carolina, they saw
Notre Dame,
gave
Maryland.
them a tough game. Maryland gave them a tough game, but I think this would probably be the best opponent that they've seen all season. So with that being said, it'll probably be a closer game than the blowouts that they've been giving the teams all seasons. And being that this is an away game as well, I do think the game is that. I think that's what makes the game much closer. So I'm saying South Carolina by less than 10 though.
No matter. I just watching this team and how confident they all are, and how much continuity they have as a group on offense and defense is huge. Like LSU still feels like a team full of individuals, even though it's growing with each game and it's gotten better since the first game of the season. South Carolina from the very first game had that continuity, and I think in games like this is where it matters. Now I will say, Angel Reese and Flau'jae have the experience of playing in March, winning big games, but these other players, obviously Haley Van Lith made it to a Elite Eight, but I think they might have played in the Final Four that year. They made it deep in the tourney when she was with Louisville, but some of these players haven't been in this kind of situation. So I think South Carolina being in this situation last year and year before that, with Breezy Hall playing meaningful minutes last 2 years. So is Cardozo. Raven Johnson played meaningful minutes last year in the Final Four game. So all these players have been, or most of their players have been in this situation. And Don Staley, I trust Don Staley to get her team prepared. Just a little bit more than I trust Kim Mulkey to get her team prepared.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I ain't giving that lady no props. So
Bro said he gonna keep the beef going, bro.
it's a one-sided beef. She don't know who I am, but it's a beef.
Well, not yet. Not yet.
Fact.
She'll know soon. Everybody will know soon. But yeah. So yeah, Thursday night, 8:00, ESPN, battle of the SEC heavyweights, heavyweight bout. Yeah. I'll be looking forward to it, man.
Oh damn, we're not gonna be recording because we were recording early.
Yeah.
Thought we was gonna be recording. I was about to say, damn, we recording during the game? No, we not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, are you off?
Well, yeah, I am. Yeah.
I was about to say, damn, you gotta work.
I know. But I don't know. It's still up in the air. But
oh wait, you said you were gonna, never mind.
I'm trying to. Yeah.
Damn, you missed the game. That's crazy. Hey, gotta get to that paper, man.
Bills gotta get paid, man. Until this is paying the bills, bills gotta get paid.
Poor man gets paid. No, I'm just kidding.
But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We'll be back with some more content throughout the week as we've been giving you guys. Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.